Everybody tuned in, man. Give me one moment. Give me one moment to get right, man. Let me take myself off here for 1 second. Yo, what's good? Y'all tuned in to another episode. 5 Star Pod Splash brought to you by Top Shelf TV. And right now, man, we about to do our top 10 People's Choice NXT. So if you tuned in, I got the link right there on the screen right now. I'm about to give me some time. I just want to post this in a couple groups real quick, try to get a little bit of an audience up in here. Give people an opportunity before I start running down my list so they can get up in here. Tuned in to another episode. 5 Star. Yeah. Give people a chance maybe if they want to get up in here and get their top 10 off or whatever as well. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure real quick. Let me see here. So I will say before I start real quick, man, shout out to everybody in all these groups that I'm up in on Facebook and everything, social media. And I know we've been all feeding off each other, man, bouncing ideas and whatnot. It really reminded me of like a Black Renaissance group or some shit like that. And I ain't even just gonna say Black, because we got people of all ethnicities up in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually part Italian. I know my boy Dustin is Caucasian or whatnot. We got other people, Ronnie and them. Loso, Dominican. Ronnie, I want to say Dominican, Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? Cisco, Puerto Rican, and whatnot, Mexican. So I thought it could be Cisco, man. Nothing wrong with being whatever. I don't see why they'd be beefing over that. But anyway, today we're doing NXT top 10, man. Again, there goes the link. I'm going to go into my Facebook where I got the live on my group. And also I'm going to post the link in there as well so y'all can copy paste it. Because I know y'all can't copy paste from off my screen. So that doesn't really do, it having it on the screen like that. And I see Chris Whitaker liked on Facebook. Man, I don't know if y'all know who Chris Whitaker is, man, but Chris Whitaker, man, that's a big deal, man. That's a professional wrestler, man, up and coming, man. So salute to him for even taking the time to like that, man. And if he could like, that brings me to the next point. Y'all could like, man, because, man, again, my dude out here putting in that work right now, doing his wrestling. I just posted the StreamYard link for anyone who wants to join, but don't feel inclined to join if you ain't got a top 10 or you ain't got nothing to really say once I start getting into these top 10s and everything. But I did post the link in there for y'all to copy paste. I'm going over NXT top 10, and I got it for 4 different categories. I got it for the up and coming, I got it for the women, I got it for the men, and then I got it for the all time, like alumni and the people currently on there included. I also included the UK people as well into my top 10. And with my top 10s, it might not necessarily reflect who's like necessarily like number one at the time. Just like my personal top 10, how I rank them, how I see them in current things, which is kind of weird because like in the men's category and then the all time, there's like certain spots where like I'll have someone ranked higher currently, but when I look at the overall all time picture, then I got them ranked lower than other people. So it's just like, yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna give this like about 5 minutes before I get into the first one. I'm gonna do the Rising Stars first, just to give people some time to, just so I can get some time to actually post this in another group or whatnot. Get some time to build, One moment. No, I don't think. Did I post it already? Did I post it on my main page? That's all I really care about if I post it on my main page. I did not post it on my main page. Wow. No good. All right. Let's see. Where did I post it? I guess Rare Gaming or something. Is that right? Yeah, but as I was talking about a little bit earlier, man, while I'm waiting for this thing to go, man, shout out to everybody in these groups, man. Shout out to a lot of people in these groups. It's a dope community we got, you know. So I do definitely, if you are on social media and you are watching this from off of Facebook later on, you know, I know right now I'm not really like big or popping right now. You know, I got very little production still. You know, I'm investing little time by time. You know, I got the little webcam. You know, I got a mic, but now my little cord's tripping one of my little outlets, so I have to order like little like one of those plugins so I could plug in other three things so I could plug in my audio. So right now I can't even use the headphones or the microphone because I can only choose one thing. So I decided to go with the video quality for now, you know, just to get that crisp like at least 20. It says 1080, you know, right now it's looking to be 1080. But I don't know, I feel like sometimes the quality may deter, you know, but it is what it is. But man, again, like shout out to a lot of people in these groups, man. Uh, from Gerard, man, with the Zachary's, man. I don't even drink, but man, I really be having that fight back the urge to like, you know, try it. But I'm getting scared. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get a hangover, sick, and I can't afford any more days off work, man. I am not trying to. I do not have the PTO to cover right now, you know. So I need to have perfect attendance for a good month just to be back in like safe standing, you know, on my part to like take a lot of time off, you know. But other than that, you know, shout out to Gerard for his endeavors, his Zachary's and everything, man. Shout out to Reggie, man. You know, aside from everything, man, Reggie be doing a lot of big things, man. From owning the house, man. You know what I'm saying? Got the newlywed, you know what I'm saying? The beautiful family and everything, man. Salute to him, man. You know, just being a mentor to the children and everything. You know, before I even get into this, I know some people might be just like, who are these people? But you know, I'm gonna edit eventually once I start to get a little bit more time on that. But to the people in these groups, man, you know what I'm saying? Positive message with what he does with the Christian show that they do. You know what I'm saying? Having a lot of special guests on there, man. Special shout out to Chris Whitaker, man. Just a special shout out to Willie Finesse, man, doing big things on TikTok. Been talking to Will because that's another thing. You gotta be able to explore. You know, for everybody tuning in, you gotta be able to use all your resources and all your outlets. You know, I was speaking with to the people watching. I'm pretty sure everybody who is watching ain't that many. It's like probably one, two people at this time. Pretty sure by the time watch back, it's probably like about 50, 40, whatever. But it's gonna be a tight knit group for a minute until everybody gets on board. And for everybody to get on board, you know, like I was talking, I wasn't really talking because I was cooking earlier today, but I did like go back and read like this conversation for a group I'm in. It's just like a bunch of like dope individuals who all got the things going on. Another person I didn't. I'm shouting out everybody right now, but from Surf Rats, another one, man, with the Frost Games, man. Amazing host, man. Also, you got the wrestling stuff that he goes on with the WWE 2K20. Man, he makes me actually want to buy WWE 2K20, and I thought I would not entertain that game at all, man. But after watching his shows and everything, man, I'm like, yo, man, I kind of want to get up on the WWE 2K20. I just caught not the WWE, the UFC 3 just now. It's only $10 on PS4 right now. I was conflicted because I know Danny got it on the Xbox, but I know a couple of my homies got it on the PlayStation. So at the end, I was like, you know, man, let me just get this one on the PlayStation, you know. But yeah, all right, man. Shout out again, man. Loso and Ari, man, bringing back the Low and Mo show, man. The Get Your Bars Off podcast, man. The name changed, but the product remained the same. Fire, you know what I'm saying, man. Salute to those guys, man. Been back on the bully, man. You know, salute to my boy Dustin, man. If it wasn't for my boy Dustin, man, like I probably wouldn't pull the trigger as hard as I've been pulling the trigger again out content. You know what I'm saying? And it's really Dustin's like that. Like Dustin is the catalyst. You know, as a comic book someone who, for those who don't know, you know what I'm saying, graduated in college for animation. Did a bunch of. I burnt myself out doing comic books and animation. You know what I'm saying? Just it's a lot of work. But one of the things, like as a storyteller, you know, is a proper story always got a catalyst, and a catalyst is basically that person who who is used to call the hero into adventure. And every person in life has a catalyst. That person who made them a fan, or that person who like steered that person in the direction or the path that they, yo, man, you need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody like gave somebody that idea, whatnot. With my boy Dustin, you know, um, he just showed me this video. This guy's sleeping and getting money off of it on here, and I'm just like, damn, this guy's making more money on YouTube and Twitch than I'm making working a 9 to 5, and I got a good 9 to 5, man. I make a paycheck if I do say so myself. So for that to be the case, you know, and they're just getting to chop it up shit that like we all like, you know what I'm saying, from wrestling, or you know what I'm saying. This guy in this case is just sleeping. It's just like, yo, we got to get more proactive with this Facebook, and I mean not Facebook, but with YouTube and everything, because there ain't really no money in Facebook, but what there is in Facebook is the same as taking advantage of your other media sources, from TikTok to Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot, is funneling all of that back into your channels where you are able to monetize and make some money off of it, if that makes sense. From YouTube, it being your subscribers and views, you know, from Anchor, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like really being consistent, staying motivated, putting out constant material on each of these things, and building up the groups. And it's really hard constantly hitting up people, hey, join my group, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But it must be done. And, you know, eventually, and it's kind of whack because right now you see like with your close groups, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the ones in the close group, because I do see there are a lot in the close groups that do support and do follow and do subscribe. But like once you see like that one like real hardcore person who's like really out there and just really pushing your stuff, it's always the people kind of like before I went back to college for animation, I was doing some rapping. It's like the people in your city, like they don't really start to support you until they see you really pop in outside of your city. It's kind of weird, but that's how it go type of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it is going to be with like social media or whatnot. But like to the point, before I get into this top 10 list, to everybody, because I know all of us got our podcasts going on, man, just constantly stay motivated and constantly put out content and material. So now I'm about to get into top 10. I know I rambled on. I will definitely edit all that out, man. So I'm probably gonna get started. I was trying to give some time for people to get up in here, but I see people are busy. It ain't really that crowded in here. I don't really see no one really asking to join up on this one or whatnot. So let me just hurry up and run my reviews through, which is straight to, because you know what, that saves me time when I'm able to just give my top 10 and not have to, not necessarily debate, but you know, it just runs smoother, goes quicker, and then I could also get on and do other things that I got going on, and not be on here for like 3-4 hours. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool as well. I wouldn't mind just, you know, having the interaction. I ain't gonna front, but at the same time, I just really just put a post up like, yo, I'm going live like 1 hour from now, and expect people to have a top 10 isn't really a lot of time to really put together 4 top 10 lists and then jump on here and really debate it, you know? But unless you could freestyle it, I put my top 10 together maybe a week ago, but then took into consideration some things going on, and then a couple things got switched around. But let's get into it. We are gonna start with the top 10 rising stars in NXT. So let me get that up. Where is that at? Call it the New Wave. So at number 10, I got Ilja Dragunov and Cameron Grimes. Now, this one, man, like, to be honest, I'm kind of giving Dragunov a little bit of benefit of the doubt, and to be honest, I kind of feel like, just being 100% honest with myself, that I feel like I'm kind of like a little bit on an uphill battle with Cameron Grimes, and it isn't even really his fault. With Cameron Grimes, it kind of reminds me of like with Roman Reigns, man. So what I mean by that is, you remember how like Daniel Bryan was supposed to win the Royal Rumble that year, and then Roman Reigns wins, and then everybody turns on Roman Reigns, and that's been his like uphill thing. Like me, I really don't have I never had that problem with Roman Reigns. I always rock with Roman Reigns, to be honest. I do feel like he was slightly pushed. I always felt like knowing Seth and Moxley's background, like I always kind of felt like, yeah, they deserve to be more pushed than him. But we obviously saw the direction that they were going. I need to get a water. We obviously saw the direction that they was going, and due to the circumstances, you kind of got pushed into not liking him. So that's kind of like the situation I got with Cameron Grimes, where it really isn't his fault. But with the situation with him and I forgot the dude's name. That's how bad it is, man. But the black dude that had the meltdown, who won their little tournament, and then he wasn't really being utilized on TV after he won that tournament, man. I hope someone watching could remind me of the dude's name. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, they completely. Now people can probably be like, oh, he doesn't know his wrestling or whatnot. But dude, like, I'm not really super big on ROH like that. I'm a little bit familiar, but ROH, like, it doesn't even have a steady channel that it like really comes on, or like something like that. So like, I don't really go out my way to follow ROH like that. But back when the Bullet Club had its like big run, you know what I'm saying, during its height of its popularity, I was really tuning into ROH at that time. But I cannot remember dude's name for the love of me. Like, I want to say like ECH or something like that. Something like that. I know it ain't EC3, obviously, but he had a name similar, you know? But like half man, half amazing and all that. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened with the Cameron Grimes, where I just felt like, man, like I kind of don't like this guy, because it was like he lost the main event finals, but then they were pushing him on TV the following weeks, like constantly. And then it's like the guy who won, like he had like 2 weeks. He had like a week where he challenges out Adam Cole, and then the week where he loses to him. And then after that, he's just done for. And the whole time they're just pushing Cameron Grimes. I'm just like, damn, they're doing more for the person who lost than the person who won, you know? So it really didn't help when this dude's making this argument like, yo, man, this company is racist and everything. It's like, bro, like, I kind of see your argument. Like, you just won the finals, but you're being treated like less than the guy that you beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting a bigger push than you. So to that extent, I kind of have my thing. But like, the more I'm watching Cameron Grimes, like, the more I'm starting to like. And it's sad. It was the interview he just had backstage this last week. I just really like that interview, and his work with Finn Balor too, that he's been doing, like, and his little vignettes with Damian Priest, you know, with the car and everything. Like, yo, sorry about your car and all that. Like, his character is starting to win me over. But it was just really the fact that how they like were pushing this guy when they weren't pushing the black dude who obviously won the tournament and all that shit. That kind of like made me a little. And he's not the booker, but you know what I'm saying. But I took it on him, so that's my fault. But and that's just me being openly honest and showing a flaw in myself. And you know, forgive me, Cameron Grimes, for that. Like I said, I'm starting to warm up to you. I'm starting to like your recent work or whatnot. It just took me a minute to get on the bandwagon just because of that, though, you know, because it's just like, damn, man, like, this guy just loses but then he debuts on the first episode, not the guy who wins the show, and he like squashes some guy in like 15 seconds. Like, who are they really pushing? Who are they really promoting? You know what I'm saying? And then with Aja, while I don't see him as much as a couple people from the UK, I don't see them as much, but from what I've seen, I really like, and I see the potential. He's one of these people I see the potential. I like his charisma. Very young guy. The match he had with Finn Balor was incredible. Went back, watched a couple of the UK stuff that he did. He just got a good energy to him. Same thing with Cameron Grimes. The thing with Cameron Grimes that as time goes on is definitely gonna benefit from over Dragunov is that he's on American soil, so he is gonna get those looks and those opportunities, especially on TV. You know what I'm saying, and on the network. To where it'll be able to establish himself more and push him further away. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's honestly already further ahead than Dragunov, at least like in the perception of like visually on air. But I see Dragunov's potential. Like, if he had the same TV time that Cameron Grimes, like, they definitely be in the same bracket, same ballpark type thing. You know what I'm saying? So with that, let me get into my number 9. Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, you know what? Honestly, like, I could almost argue putting Bronson Reed 10 and then putting Aja and Cameron Grimes, or maybe even Bronson and Aja 10 and then Cameron Grimes 9. There's some things I like about Bronson. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The thing with NXT and just in pro wrestling nowadays in general is like we've already seen this, and like it isn't even nothing that's new generation. Bam Bam Bigelow and Big Men have been doing high spots and stuff like that, high risk maneuvers and stuff for a while. You know what I'm saying? Not as many to where it isn't like a big attraction. You know what I'm saying? Or such a special thing nowadays. But Bronson Reed, he's another big guy who can move and whatnot. He has some good character to him. You know, I like the little bit of character that they've shown from him, you know what I'm saying, with the squash match, helping the guy up and everything, shows some good character with that, you know what I'm saying, to how he responded to Karrion Kross with the you know, like, coming out here. Not so much the match. The match was a good match that they just had, but the week before that when he came out there, I was just like, yo, man, you got me fucked up if you think you about to whoop my ass and then, like, that's the end of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, like, we running it next week on NXT, and that's something I liked from Bronson Reed that a lot of people don't do in pro wrestling, like this new generation. Like, I hate how like some come out there, whoop their ass one week, and then the next week they'll come out there and they'll be in the same ring and they'll be cutting the promo like, yeah, well, I fucked you up last week. Like, nah, bro, it's supposed to be on site. Like, that was the difference between like the Attitude Era when Stone Cold come out there and you hear that glass break and the music playing stuff. Like, you know, when Stone Cold hit that ring, Stone Cold was putting hands on everybody. So, like, that's what I like. Like, I don't like this whole, you know, and someone will stay at, like, at the entranceway and then one person stay at the ring. Like, there's, like, this invisible force field blocking them from going down to the ring, or, you know what I'm saying? Or where someone's fighting in the ring and then someone will get knocked out the ring and then the other person will just stay in the ring. Like, they can't get out the ring. Like, you're saying these, like, things, like, I hate those things. Where's the continuity? And, like, where's the logic at, you know? So when Bronson did that, more so than just getting beat up one week and then coming out and then having a good match, like, the progression, like, yo, I like how for 1 week I'm coming out, like, it shows, like, nah, bro, like, this isn't over yet. It's on site. You know what I'm saying? Because at least it makes me believe that if Oh Boy was in that ring at that time, he would have came up in there and they would have got it shaken. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't just came up in the ring and why attack me? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I don't want to hear after already being beat up or attacked or whatever. I don't want to hear you go in the ring and y'all have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Like, the conversation is for like the initial, you know, the initial pop off type thing, or like a big contract signing type of deal or whatever, man. So I did like that from Bronson, man. With that, let me get into my number 8. Number 8. Controversial, man. Controversial right now, but Jordan Devlin, man. Now, there's a lot going on personally, and I ain't want to speak on people's personal lives. I will say this, man. Obviously, I didn't take that into consideration, putting this man in my list, because there could be a lot of people who would probably not include him, or feel some type of way about the situation, man. I feel some type of way about the situation, but probably not in the way that other people would feel. And I don't even want to get into that because it's kind of like a political situation, in a sense, but I feel like those are serious accusations, and just like look at Enzo Amore, like he was accused and later found out that he did not do those things, and look what it cost him, man. It cost him a career, it cost him his livelihood, it cost him trips around the world, performing in front of people, being on TV, in video games, action figures, and what I'm saying, fans, merchandise, and all that. So, like, I do take the situation serious, but I also take into consideration like just how wicked this world is, and how there's some people who will lie about that stuff because you're kind of forced into taking their side, even if they're lying, because you don't know that they're lying. You know what I'm saying? And the sad thing is they'll never admit that they're lying. So unless like there's like hardcore evidence to prove otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Or they slip up and someone else exposes them, which happened in Enzo's case. So it's a tricky one. So I don't just hurry up and quick to jump on the the bandwagon of like, let me condemn this man. Like, what I'm saying? This man is innocent until proven guilty. From what I see, I can only base him off of his in-ring work and his skill, is top notch, man. Great work, Finn Balor's student right here, along with Becky Lynch. Finn Balor is an OG, man. Like, get this man his props, man. Like, Jordan Devlin, like more than probably anybody, I'd say him and Lio Rush and Jordan Devlin definitely like 1 and 2 when it comes to like the cruiserweights. In my opinion, there's some good cruiserweights. Angel Garcia is dope. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot. There's the Escobar dude is fire right now. That's doing his thing too, man. He's dope as fuck too. But yeah, like Jordan Devlin, he's up there, man. He's a dope dude, man. The thing that's hurting him is that he's just not getting enough airtime, enough looks, because for the main part, he's like from Ireland or whatnot, so he's mainly on the UK. So again, just like with Dragunov and a couple other people on the list, it's like, damn, if only they were on America and get in on the main brand, so to speak, get more opportunity, more looks or whatnot, and kind of like puts him back a little bit on the rankings. Ranked number 7, Damian Priest. Damian Priest, man. Damian Priest, I'm warming up to Damian Priest too, man. Like, I wasn't super hype on Damian Priest. I was a little bit familiar with his work. I can't recall 100% exactly which. I know he's one of those people. He's been around the indies and whatnot, paid him his dues, definitely. But let me get that out the way so you get the titles up on there, man. You gotta see the triple champ over here, man. You see with the titles, man. The first ever WWE, New Japan, and AEW Triple Crown Granddaddy Champion, man. I just want to throw that out there, just in case you see some other people do it later on. You know who did it first, all right? You know what I'm saying? Shout to my bro Rashad, man. He's the New Japan Intercontinental Champion, I'm just fucking through your shot. Hey, I saw that post like, yo, where Andre Harris at? I'm like, all right, I see you, bro. You got one title on me, man, but that's the Intercontinental title you got, bro. You got the Intercontinental title, bro. You got the NWA, but I got the AEW though, bro. I'd rather have the world than the Intercontinental. I'd rather have the AEW, the TV show, than the NWA. No shade. All shade. Hey. No, fucking with you, man. I salute Rashad Cherry. I cannot fuck with Rashad Cherry, man. That nigga's out of my tax bracket. That nigga's a rich guy, man. This guy, Shot Shay, the nigga you give money to fix your car and everything, man. You can't fuck with those type of niggas, man, because they hustle you every time you go to get your car fixed, man. They fix one thing and then fuck something else up, so you have to go back to them and then give them some more of your money. Hey, man, I'm just messing with you, Rashad, man. You my brother, man. Hey, anyway, back to this list, man. Damian Priest, man, 7, another big guy who can move. You know what I'm saying? Thing with him, like, it's like, all right, with the big guys who can move, it's like, it's so many now to where it's common. And it's like, man, you kind of wish like they more so stick to their strength, you know what I'm saying? Which is being a big guy, because you know what I'm saying? Like the average height is like what, like 5'7", 5'6", I think, something like that. So it's like you being like 6'6" is not like a common thing. Like when you look at most of these wrestlers nowadays, they're not like back in the day. They're not these jacked up bodybuilding people back in the day type thing. Like they're like shorter, slimmer dudes. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a Damian Priest, a guy who's like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", or whatever, like, man, he's supposed to be like a powerhouse, like, you know what I'm saying? But instead, you're doing all the like lucha, you know, high spots and striking stuff that the like smaller people do, which is what all the big guys are doing now. But so it doesn't look as impressive, not only because other big guys are doing it, but because there are other guys doing it also big, but they also like big in weight too. So it's just like, all right, man, you gotta find something else. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like the same thing with number 6, Dominic Dijakovic. Now my thing is like, honestly, man, I'll be feeling like, damn. There's two things with this, like with Damian Priest and Dijakovic, like you could really like interplace these two spots on the ranking, and I really feel like as time goes by, like Damian Priest like probably has the potential just to probably like move further like ahead, like as it stands. But like as I have it currently, I got Dominic, just obviously his work with Keith Lee on NXT. Like one thing I am keeping in mind for the most part, like I do take in like where you were coming into NXT, but for the main part, like when I'm putting my ranking in, I'm mainly based off what you've done in NXT and what your projection in NXT is looking like, or potential for, or whatnot. But with Dominic Dijakovic, aside from Keith Lee, like it's like, man, you got to keep looking for momentum and people that you can work with and have these same quality type of matches with, to where people really invest. And I think what's really hard for Dijakovic really is, man, the name is a hard thing. I want to say it was Jim Cornette, you know what I'm saying, who said it, is like this thing he does, he calls it like the name game, where like you think of like, all right, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin challenging such and such, you know, that's the name game right there. Like it's Hulk Hogan versus Dominic Dijakovic. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like John Cena versus Dominic Dijakovic. It's like the name. Like, does that name say world champion to you? Like, that's what's hard to sell. You know what I'm saying? It's a real hard name to market. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe figure out a way to switch up the name. But ability-wise, like another Damian Priest, I kind of slightly edge Dominic's style or move set, probably is what it is. I'd probably give Damian Priest like an edge in the character wise, which really you could argue should put him ahead. You know what I'm saying? Because this isn't just about fancy moves like a pro wrestler. And I think that's what really is lacking and could improve, is just like, man, the overall, not just the promo, but just the overall character, persona, the swag, the presence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's just missing, you know. But with that said, damn, I'm looking at it and I kind of feel bad I got these next two people over everybody I listed, just because these next two, like one of them hasn't really done enough yet for me to honestly say that I put him above these other people now that I'm looking at my list. And the other one definitely hasn't, but like the potential on number 5 is crazy. I've only seen his in dark matches and like social media clips, but I've seen it a lot of social media clips from off Snapchat, from YouTube, and Facebook and everywhere. And so it's just like, and I've seen a lot of them. So I'm like, where the hell is this guy at? Like, why hasn't he done nothing? And it's funny because I've seen him actually on Raw as one of the fans, and he's like being like over the top the whole time. I'm like, when the hell are they gonna throw this guy on TV? And I'm talking about Eric. I can't even pronounce his name because they don't even really use him, man. But Bugenhagen, Bogenhagen, however you say it, man. This guy's persona, his charisma, it's up there with the Velveteen Dream and Orange Cassidy's. Like, man, when you guys finally see this guy, when they finally utilize this guy, man, he's like an Americanized ace, man. From New Japan New Japan Pro Wrestling, man. This guy got so much charisma, man, with the electric guitar and everything that air guitar stuff do. Like, this guy is gonna be a star. Like, I see mad potential with this guy. Like, he was my one wild throw in there pick where I'm just like, yo, I know he hasn't done what these other guys have done yet. I know he hasn't proven himself like these other guys, but the potential I see, like if I was like that guy in the back in the gorilla who is the one who's doing the booking and writing up these shows and everything, and I'm deciding who gets pushed and everything like that, and I'm going out there and I'm watching talent that hasn't debuted yet, and I'm seeing like what they're doing like on the dark matches and everything. This will be one of those guys that'll be like, yo, let's get him on the main show. Like, he's ready. Like, this guy is gonna be a star. Like, and I feel like this guy's gonna be a star one day. And honestly, I would have put him. That's the only reason I put this other guy before him right now, because I feel like this guy definitely has more charisma than probably damn near almost everybody on here besides Velveteen when it comes to just like charismatic energy. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm going to go with Dexter Lumis for number 4. What they've done with him over the last couple, I'd say maybe 2 months or so, has really been just great progress. You know, I've seen Dave Meltzer just trash his match with Roddy. I don't think the match was that bad at all. It wasn't nothing crazy, but it wasn't trash like how Dave said. And it was just funny hearing Dave even say, like, just he even use that verbiage, just like, oh, it was trash. Just like, bro, like, I see you gas like damn near every match on AEW produces, you know, but then like you try to like just like trash this match when it was a nice match for a person who's established like Roddy, just like, you know, having like a match with an up and coming talent, you know what I'm saying, to help enhance the talent and give them a look without it being like too serious of like a storyline where, you know what I'm saying, like you sink your like your heart into it or whatnot, you know. But like, and there's room for that. There's room for Cassidy to do his stuff or whatever. Then there should be room for that. But this has even been more seriously presented than that. Other than, you know, Roddy's like just showing off his or whatnot. But other than that, Dexter Lumis has done a good job. Got a good look. Got a good move set, man. I think what some of these people, man, with Dexter, the another thing with Carl, man, like these are some big guys where it's just your finisher should be like a slam, a power bomb, or like a strike or something like that. Like for you to do a submission, it's kind of just like, you know, I don't know. But like I prefer like I just prefer like a high impact shot type of move instead of a submission. Kind of takes away, man. So number 3 on my list, let me get to it, man. This thing is not, there we go. Timothy Thatcher, man. Timothy Thatcher is a beast. I really like the promos that they got him doing with the wrestling school and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you shoot people like how I do, like the little arm stuff like that. It just remind me. Honestly, it's funny, but it reminded me of like as a kid, like when like I've been watching wrestling since I was 4, man. So like it reminded me as a kid, like I always like be like doing the moves and stuff, like learning like how to do every single move down there, you know. And like people be like, oh, it's fake or whatever. Be like, oh, well, let me put you in a move real quick and show you, you know. And I'll be putting them in like stuff similar. It wouldn't be these exact moves that Thatcher's doing, but I like put them in some shit and I'll be like, oh, yo, all right, okay. Like, but yo, they'd still be like, yo, but it's fake though. I'm just like, still, I can fuck you up with this shit though. Like, this shit like really hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, put some respect on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But other than that, man, yeah. So then number two, oh, so yeah, I mean his match with Matt Riddle been fire, especially that cage match really put me on, man. For him to go out there hang with Matt Riddle. You know what I'm saying? Matt Riddle coming in from the MMA, been running kind of roughshod, been a little bit of a bully. But Timothy Thatcher, ain't going for that shit. Like, hell no, we hard body over here in pro wrestling side. We ain't all just like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it fucked up over here, man. We got some brawlers over here. So shout to him. I think he's dope too, man. Could honestly put Timothy Thatcher number two, man, but I got him three, man. Number two, just like I gotta give it to Santos Escobar, man. I really like what he's doing, even though he do kind of remind me of like a little AOP. You know what I'm saying? He's like he's like the ringleader. He got his own little shorter AOP that's backing him up and everything. I like what he's doing with the cruiserweight. Like, you know what I'm saying? He keeping the cruiserweight division fresh and alive, right? And he got, I like he taped off the mask. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? His promo's been A1. The work he been doing, the matches, everything been spot on with him, man. So I think big things definitely in mind with Santos Escobar, man. So big salute to him coming in number two. Obviously, number one, anyone who got a top 10 rising stars right now, if this guy ain't in your top 10 rising stars, the only explanation could be you don't consider him a rising star anymore. But to me, I do, and that is, of course, Karrion Kross, man, aka Killer Kross, man. But you already know WWE, they're like, yo, publicly trading all that shit. They ain't trying to have anybody be all fucking offended or act fake offended over their comments or whatnot, man. But Killer Kross, man, first time I heard about him, honestly, when Jon Moxley left WWE, and then he started really doing his runs, He started doing his runs, and as he started doing his runs, he ran into Killer Kross. And when I seen him up against Killer Kross, it was in some smaller league. It wasn't AEW. It was some smaller league that Killer Kross was like up in at the time. And I was just like, damn, man, that's a big ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this dude look like a legit badass, I'll beat your ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Moxley looks legit as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, person you see on screen, be like, all right, like, you don't just think he. And I only say that because, like, it's a funny. I remember I was downtown one year, and it was like for Comic-Con. It was a Wednesday. I want to. So it was like preview night for Comic-Con. On preview night, for those who don't know, it doesn't get as packed yet. And even Thursday, it don't get like as it is on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But on Wednesday, it don't get as packed. And Wednesday is mainly the day, though, which is funny. It don't get as packed because when it don't get as packed on Wednesday, that's the day like all the celebrities want to hurry up. It's preview night. So if you're not a professional or whatnot, luckily, since I did do all my animation shit and I do got my professional badge and everything, like I get a professional badge, so I'm able to go and I could go in the back rooms and all that shit, chop it up or whatnot. But on those nights, those are when you see the celebrities or whatnot. And so I remember just out there one time and I saw CM Punk. And this is before the UFC shit, keep in mind. This is before the UFC shit, but this is, I think, like, if not right before the time bomb or right after the pipe bomb shit. But I remember seeing it, I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, growing up doing Taekwondo and everything, I just knew in my mind that he did it. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, because I, like, follow wrestling so much, I just knew, like, yo, man. And then sizing him up, like, I just naturally, I'm just like, yo, man, if it really go down, I can fuck this nigga up. When I say that about Karrion Kross or Jon Moxley, I'm just like, yo, man, they look more a pro wrestler, like, where you just like, all right, man, like, I wouldn't try this guy at a bar type thing, So, like, with Karrion Kross, like, he definitely looks the part. The matches, the psychology is so on point with this guy, man. The promos, though. His promos are next level, bro. His promos are on point, man. There's not that many people who could promo like this guy, man. Like, I'm gonna put him in there, like, aside from like the vets, like there ain't no people who could promo like him that are his class or like young, But That's not to say people can't promo, but like this guy's definitely on another one. Like I see big things for this guy in the very immediate future, man. Like I was kind of surprised that I'm not even gonna get into it. I was about to say something, I don't want to spoil it, but you know what? There will be spoilers later on, so there ain't that many people watching, so I don't really sweat it. But let's see here. Next up, I'm gonna do the women's division. So I'm gonna start at number 10. Number 10, I got Chelsea Green. Now, I'm not sure if Chelsea Green is still on NXT, but if she was, I'd have her number 10. I see her moving up the ranks quick. They're pushing her, you know, she got a good look to her and whatnot. I actually liked her better when she had Oh Boy with her. It's kind of funny. She like wins one match with Charlotte Flair and then cuts Oh Boy to the side and everything. Like, I don't need you no more, but she hasn't really done nothing since. But she did enough to make number 10. There ain't that many people on the roster, but there could have been a few. There are a lot of people not listed, so she at least made number 10. Number 9, I got Mia Yim. Now, this is why I kind of wish there was more people here to like really, you know what I'm saying, kind of like keep me in check, because that could have been the case when I did the AEW review, in all honesty. But with the AEW review, I remember there was some people out certain positions lower, and then people like, oh no, man, they should be here, which they're fine for Orange Cassidy, they're fine for Big Swole or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a little bit lower than what everybody else in the group had or whatnot. But yeah, I'm not super big on Mia Yim. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the matches ain't really doing it for me. But yeah, just ain't doing it for me. Number 8, Mercedes Martinez. Now, I think this ain't fair in the sense that I have her higher than Mia Yim. Just because she hasn't done more than Mia Yim, obviously, in NXT, she ain't had the looks Mia Yim has had in NXT, but just like I'm just familiar with her, and from even the little bit of looks I did see, I did like it more than what I did like from Mia. Just in-ring work style, even character. I don't know, character probably dead on even, honestly. As far as in-ring moveset and whatnot, probably edge Mercedes Martinez, number 8. Number 7, I got Tegan Nox, man. This is the NXT Captain Marvel right here. Tegan Nox actually just had a great week, and I didn't have the time to go back and then switch my stuff around. But I'm not saying I would, in all honesty. But just because everybody else I look at on this list, I think 7's probably most appropriate for Tegan Nox. It's not to say she can't get any higher, but as it stands, I got Tegan at 7. Probably put her actually. I could probably put her on the top 5 when I'm looking at the next 2. And it probably would, but it's kind of not their other 2's fault. They're in the UK, so not being shown as much. But from what I've seen, kind of edge them. First one would be number 6, Toni Storm. Now, honestly, like from an in-ring work-wise, I don't think Tegan's a little more smoother. I feel like Toni has had a few more minor botches in her matches or whatnot. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. It's pretty dead on even. I do like Toni's look more. It feels kind of daft to say that, but like, I don't know. There's something about Toni, like her character, her look, and whatnot. I kind of resonate more, kind of like more. But as far as like wrestling wise, I might put Tegan before her. And honestly, I might put Tegan and Toni Storm before number 5, if I didn't take into consideration just her title run, and that is Kaylee Ray. If it wasn't for the title run, I'd honestly put Tegan and Toni Storm above her, man. Honestly, her title run, even though she's had a long reign, it's still been underwhelming. Even her debut in NXT, I remember when she debuted in NXT, it was very underwhelming to me. Like she's a real good team player. Like she let the other person on her debut like have a very competitive back and forth match. You know, girl was getting off on her, and I'm just thinking to myself like, damn, you over here, you're supposed to be the champion, you're supposed to be debuting, like having like close ass matches with people who ain't even like top 5 on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and the NXT roster, so it kind of just threw me off, and I never really like. I think the other two definitely got a more. I mean, when I say look to, I don't mean like, oh, I'm more attracted to that person or whatever. Like, don't. That's not what I mean. When I say look, like, I just mean like branding. Case in point, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega have been doing. They've had the same moveset since it started out. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they added some things to it, but they've always been the same style type of wrestlers, right? There's a lot of years where they weren't popping like that. You know what I'm saying? Until really the Bullet Club, once they got on that branding and had that look behind them. That's what I mean by look. That they got noticed, and people start to take notes to the other stuff, their matches, because now you got the look. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's important to have the look. Sometimes if you have the look, you got the look and not be able to wrestle and be able to get by. You know what I'm saying? But you can be able to wrestle your ass off, but if you ain't got the look, people gonna be looking at you funny, man. So it is what it is, man. If you're able to have both, that's great. But if not, I'd rather have the look. But I do give Kaylee Ray, with all that said, I still give Kaylee Ray number 5 over Toni Storm and Tegan. Not on some, just due to what she's doing over there. But man, they're not really highlighting enough. I'm not on it enough, to be honest, to where I could honestly put her probably 7 and put Toni probably 6, and then probably put Tegan 5, or Toni 5, Tegan 6. You know, the thing is, though, Toni Storm and Kaylee, they've both been world champion, where Tegan Knox hasn't. So yeah, I think I got it right. I think I got that part right. At number 4, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, another one. She got the look, young, mad talent, very strong. Give me one moment. I dropped some candy. Okay. Strong, good look, good moveset. Some of her matches don't really be hidden for me, but then she has some matches that really do. So like I kind of feel like 4 is kind of like right to place her right there. I definitely put her over Kaylee, even though Kaylee had this crazy title run. Like I'm honestly debating even putting Kaylee Ray at number 5 over Tegan and Toni, but I do put in consideration her title reign has been more substantial than Toni or Tegan. Don't even got a title reign. You know what I'm saying? So when I put those into consideration, I put Rhea, I put Kaylee above those two. But I don't put her above Rhea and what Rhea's been able to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Her story, just from over on the UK side, to go over to NXT, do her thing, and then even to go on to do the WrestleMania, even though it was in front of nobody. Damn, man, COVID, you a bitch for fucking that up. So that being said, honestly, I ain't trying to sound like a hater, and I might have to edit out that last part I said. But I kind of was a little bit like felt some type of way because I felt like Bianca Belair should have been in the match at WrestleMania. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. All right, number 3, Candice LeRae, man. I really like what Candice LeRae is doing, man. Shout out to Candice LeRae. What Candice LeRae has done is something that a lot of other people could learn from, and I don't even think like it's on them because they're not booking, obviously. But Candice LeRae obviously coming into NXT, like Johnny Gargano, like you would expect that she would have pulled rank and then put herself in position to win the world title. She came in and she's been paying her dues for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? To the point like when she wins that belt, like it's about time, you know, because that's what she's doing. She's doing it the organic way. She's doing it the right way. She had the solid face run, and she's showing that she could be a heel too. She's one of those people who's just a naturally good face, and you just always think of her as a face. And to see her even be a heel, and to see her be a good heel is another thing. It's just like, yo, salute to her. So I definitely got her at number 3, even though she doesn't have the title uh, accolades that some of the other people have up on here. Her current character and her current work and what she's been able to do, her body of work, I think she's number 3 right now in NXT when it comes to that. You know, number 2, I got Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai, another one, just like Candice LeRae, obviously paid her dues the without the name behind it, to where you can't expect her to just get that automatic push. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Candice for not taking the shortcut. You know what I'm saying? But salute to Candice, to Dakota, because she didn't have a shortcut to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing with Dakota Kai was like Bayley 2.0 in a sense. Like, she was the Bayley replacement for a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bayley Jr. type. So like, she was another one of those people, just like with Candice LeRae, where you just always seen them as a baby face, and a good baby face at that. You know what I'm saying? So where you see them show that they like, yo, I could be a bad guy, I could be a heel, and they're knocking it out the park. It's just another one like I'm really rocking with. So I really like both of them. So obviously, number 1 at this time, my girl Io Shirai finally getting her time. I've been rocking with Io for a minute since NXT went live on USA. I really started to rock with her. That presentation alone with the band, I think the name's Izzy or some shit like that. It was a very nice presentation, very rock starish. Made her look like she a star, and she is a star, and she's one of the greatest women pro wrestler they've been saying for years. You know what I'm saying? So to finally see her get her just doing everything, and to get these looks, you know what I'm saying, from beating Charlotte Flair for the title to just beating Sasha Banks, you know what I'm saying? Like, now she's up in there fighting the legends, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fire, and I'm glad to see that. I'm hoping that she extends her contract. I'm very sad to see Kairi Sane go, because I would have loved to see her re-sign, and then her, Asuka, and Io, just, you know what I'm saying, eventually down the line. That would be such a dope match, man. But I know Kairi, she's not re-signing, and then she's retiring after a year or so of wrestling. And much respect. That's her decision. All you could do is respect it and thank her for her time, blood, sweat, and sacrifice that she's put in at a pro wrestling, man. To all these pro wrestlers, man. You know, salute to them. That time that they put in the blood, sweat, tears, time away from the family or whatnot. That being said, we're gonna get into the current men division. At number 10 for me, I got my boy Trent Seven, man, Mr. Mustache Mountain. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy right there, man. Trent Seven, man. So much character, so much swag. He's another one of those people, just like the Velveteen Dream, just like the Bugenhagen. They got charisma. You know, like, Trent might not have the look of a Velveteen or a Bugenhagen, but he got charisma, and he got this swag to him. You know what I'm saying? From the mustache and the way he carries himself or whatnot. It's just like very hard to not get behind. You know what I'm saying? I have seen some. I haven't seen all, but I've seen a lot of WWE UK, and I really liked his work. You know, that he's done. Him and Tyler Bate as a tag team and as a singles competitor and whatnot. But yeah, I'd have to pin Trent. I have to pin Trent at number 10. At number 9, I'm kind of cheating on this one. This is the only time on the entire. No, not. I was gonna say this is the only time I did this on the entire on the list, but this is a 3-way tie for number 9, and this just shows just how good NXT UK roster and division is. You know, and the only thing that's really hindering them and pin all these UK people so low on the list is that they're not seen as frequently, and they're not on the big cards as frequently. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting as much to work with in a sense, but when they do get those cards and those shows, they're knocking them out the park. They're killing it. But with that being said, at number 9, 3 tag teams from NXT UK, and I'm talking about Imperium, the Grizzled Young Vets, and Gallus. Obviously, with Imperium, I'm not counting Walter. I'm just counting the tag team. And then I'm talking about the Grizzled Young Vets and Gallus, man. All 3 of these teams, I like what they're doing. I think at this time, I don't even think I know at this time, Imperium is NXT champions. Gallus is the UK champions. But I also really like the Grizzled Young Vets, specifically Zach Gibson. Man, like such a good group of tag team out there. Like, damn, like they really need to really get them on TV and get the same looks that they're giving the rest of NXT, because man, they got some good talent over there in the UK that needs to be showcased more. Number 8, I gotta go with Velveteen Dream. I know some people might be. I know my boy Dustin might see a list like this and be like, "What the heck, Velveteen number 8?" Man, when I'm looking at this list, yeah, I gotta put Velveteen 8. It's crazy too, man, because Velveteen Dream's a homegrown NXT. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those people. He's another person, kind of like New Day too, where I feel like, damn, they were given a gimmick that they probably didn't want to begin with. It was kind of like set up for them to fail to begin with, but they just took that shit and ran with it and made it their own thing and got it over. You know what I'm saying? And to that extent, Velveteen Dream, you could definitely should be higher on the list, but I really just, it's this list it gets thick. It gets real deep. Not even, it's real deep, man. We get into the deep end. We get into this list, man. I know, like, this list is very debatable. We could very much argue this list. But man, Velveteen Dream, man, I feel like I'll wait on that, man. But Velveteen Dream, I'm gonna give him number 8. At number 7, I'm gonna go with Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Yeah, man, with Pete Dunne, man. Pete Dunne, he had a super crazy title run. You know what I'm saying? Adam Cole's on one close to it, and the one Adam Cole's having is way more impressive in my opinion, just because it's like showcased way more. So it's way more title matches that we're seeing, at least way more shows. It's on a weekly, you know, to that point. When we're seeing Pete Dunne, and it's like, oh, he's held the title all the time. It's like, yeah, but these shows for the UK, they're like so spread out. It's not like WWE where there's like a new pay-per-view every month type deal. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like 12 title defenses a month and a couple thrown in on TV or whatnot, like what Pete Dunne's case it was, you know? So Pete Dunne has had some crazy good matches. With that being said, I do put him number 7. You could argue he could really 7 through 5 could fluctuate. You could really put any of these 3 in any type of order, and I really wouldn't even be mad at you. This is just the order I have it in personally. Pete Dunne, number 7, number 6. I switched this one at last minute because I had this guy at number 5. I actually had this guy above number 4 at one point until just what recently happened, which we will get into, which will be a spoiler alert. But at number 6, got Tyler Bate, man. First ever NXT UK World Champion. That's big. Second, this guy is young as hell. I think the youngest wrestler on the roster. Him and Velveteen, extremely young. I believe he was like a year younger or a couple months younger than Velveteen Dream. Tyler Bate, man, this guy puts on some amazing matches. And honestly, if it wasn't for, this is where exposure plays a part. Because, like, honestly, if it wasn't for, if this dude was on NXT, I'd probably put him above some of these other people. Definitely, you know, he would have definitely probably surpassed some of these other people on the list. But with that being said, number 5, this guy, another one. It's the last one from UK. Obviously, Walter is like, man, when Walter wrestles, man, with Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Walter, they put on quality matches that are on par with anybody in the top four, maybe even better, especially at times better. What's hindering them is just that they don't work as frequently. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of like my thing back when people would be like, "Oh, Kenny Omega's the best wrestler over AJ Styles." Back when Omega was really killing shit, I'll be like, "Bro, like he's wrestling way less than AJ Styles. So like, of course he could run a longer match because he has way more time to rest in between match for one. Two, AJ and them are like working like a crazy schedule, you know." And they got a huge ass roster where everybody's trying to get on TV, so they don't got as much time to work with. So when I really broke all those things down, it's kind of hard to really even compare the two. You know, with Walter and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates, just like, damn, we're just not seeing as many. The output isn't the same, you know. But when Walter commands, that I do like over probably anybody else on the list, is when Walter wrestles, it feels serious. It feels like a real fucking wrestling match. It feels like that old school. It feels like you just like went into a time machine. You're back in 1984. You know what I'm saying? Chilling on Grandpa's couch. You know what I'm saying? Watching the wrestling and everything. And you seeing like two dudes ain't doing a bunch of flips outside of the ring and flips off the top rope and everything. Like these are just two guys. Basic, you know, body slam, suplex, chop. You know what I'm saying? Even though he does got some moves, obviously he could come from off the top and everything. But like his moves, the way he presents and sets up his matches, it feels way more realistic than most, and his stuff makes sense. At number 4, though, bask in his glory, Keith Lee. Shout out to Keith Lee. I don't want to get into spoilers. I'm sure y'all know what's going on with Keith Lee. You know, that's what I need to cop. I need to cop an NXT title, but yo. Keith Lee, it's because of, I said just a minute ago, I would have Walter, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne higher, but since they're working in the UK, it's really hard for them. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting the looks and everything. That's where Keith Lee is a prime example of that. Look, even though y'all was there before Keith Lee in the WWE and everything, since y'all working in the UK, y'all not on the weekly television show, you're not on the pay-per-views and all that everything, you know what I'm saying, every time. So Keith Lee pops up. Keith Lee is on Royal Rumble, you know what I'm saying? Face-to-face with Brock Lesnar. Keith Lee at Survivor Series against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and all them, you know what I'm saying? Keith Lee is the one on Monday Night Raw and everything. Keith Lee is getting these looks that you guys could have got, but said, I'm going to stay in the UK, which is admirable, you know? Because in the UK, what I will say is you guys are definitely, the titles and whatnot, everything's being taken more serious and everything feels more important and has more prestige to it just because of how everything's been handled, you know what I'm saying? Not too much so, more so, especially not with NXT, but with the main WWE for sure. But with Keith Lee, man, Keith Lee definitely did a good job of seizing the opportunity, capitalizing on everything, making big moves. Again, there's a lot of big people from Dominic to Damian Priest and Bronson Reed or whatnot. A lot of big guys who could do the stuff that's not as impressive. And I ain't gonna say Bronson because he's another Keith Lee in the sense that it's more impressive when like, all right, like you tall and you're doing the stuff, but are you tall and husky? You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, it looked impressive when the little dude did it. but look more impressive because a big dude doing what a little dude was typically only known to do. You know what I'm saying? Now we see a big dude do it who's also overweight do it. Now it's just like, damn, like that looks spectacular. You know what I'm saying? It kind of takes the fire off the other people, but Keith Lee is like probably the best big man doing all that stuff right now. Definitely making crazy big moves, man. I love the spirit bomb he does, man. That spirit bomb, that shit is fire. You ain't even got to go off the top rope, man. Keith Lee, like some of your best stuff is like your like grounded stuff, man. That pounce when he knocked him into the like fifth row, like dude, like you don't even got to do all the backflip stuff, man. You fire, man, but you can though, which is fire to also be able to do that. So salute to Keith Lee, man, holding it down. Love the representation of the Black Lives Matter and everything like that, man. At number 3 for me personally, what Keith Lee can improve on, man, is his promo. I don't know, something about it just ain't hitting with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, just don't be hitting all the time with me. You know, I think it'd be a little bit more. I don't know. I can't even really put my finger on it. But something is off with the promo skills with Keith Lee, man. But I really look forward to him and Karrion Kross. I feel like they. Never mind, my fault. All right, number 3. You already know what time it is, man. OG, you already know, man. The OG, the originator. You already know, man. Bullet Club with this bitch, man. You already know, man. Finn Balor, man, aka the Prince, man. The Prince back. Man, you know, it's so hard for me not to even, man, I just got to give Prince's, Finn Balor's his just due, man. Finn Balor, just like with the, I even say this, but just like kind of like how with, I alluded to earlier with Candice LeRae and with Dakota Kai, where it's just like, as far as NXT goes, like you've seen them, they've been exemplary faces for so long. You know what I'm saying? They've been established faces to like them switch over to the heel side. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, motherfucker, I could do this. Now, the funny thing is, like, with Finn Balor ain't really a surprise because that's where the Bullet Club came from. So, like, that's what we knew him for before he got his contract. And he hasn't been that guy since he actually got his contract, which was ironic. It's like, damn, the thing that got him his deal, they've hindered him from being the entire time since he got his deal. And it took him coming back. It took him coming back from the main stage to go there to really do it. And why I do have him higher than Keith Lee is because not only has his journey and everything he's done, you know, back, forth, and whatnot, before, after, whatnot, the contributions, every single last thing that he puts in, his aura, his presence is just on another level. It's honestly single-handedly on a bigger level than anyone on the list, you know? Individually. He got the most swag, he got the most aura, the most charisma. His promos is fire right now, man, since he's been back on his heel shit, on his Prince Devitt shit. Even though he ain't calling himself Devitt, but he is calling himself the Prince. And we know what you're talking about, boy. Like, he's at 3 right now, but with a few adjustments, he could be right back at number 1. You just need a stable, bro. You need a Bullet Club in WWE. He hasn't had one yet. He stayed away from it the whole time they was even in WWE, even though he's the one who was vouching for them to get the jobs to begin with. Like, he knew what was going to happen. Like, nah, man, I don't trust Vince and them. They ain't about to, nah. It's like he knew it. At number 2, Undisputed Era, man. Adam Cole, baby. But man, I really gotta group the whole group together, man. Their whole work together, man, is NXT, man. I mean, before NXT, they was doing the same stuff in Ring of Honor and everything. They was getting busy and they was honing it down in Ring of Honor and everything. But they've been holding it the fuck down in NXT since they got there. You know what I'm saying? They kept the same energy, bro. You know how some people be like, yo, keep that same energy? They've kept that same energy since they got to NXT, bro. They've been green lights since they got to NXT, bro. All gas, bro. No brakes, my nigga. Like, Undisputed Era been cooking out the gate, bro. To the day. To the day. Man, gotta give them their props, man. Salute to them, man. They is a staple in NXT, man. And I don't even really, I would hate to even see them go up to WWE. I mean, WWE could kind of use it, but it's just like, damn, man. Like, I don't trust the writers and the booking up there in WWE. Stay in NXT where it's safe, bro. Where shit matters and makes sense. And honestly, I start to look at the list. Kind of need to keep some people in NXT. Might be time to bring a couple people down to NXT, honestly. And to be honest, it ain't at this point down. It's really up, to be honest. But at number one, man, when I think of NXT, man, as consistent as Undisputed Era has been for everything great I could say about Adam Cole, man, it's two people that I put obviously above them, and it's DIY, man. DIY is number one when it comes to NXT for me, current NXT, man. And that's kind of fun. I would even say current because obviously Undisputed is the one who's constantly been having to go and everything. But when I say currently, like I just mean like current roster, which is weird. And I did say a little bit earlier, like when we get to the all-time list, things are gonna fluctuate, and you'll see what I'm saying. But for DIY, I got the number one right here. I'll finish the Star Wars. Or Skibble. DIY, I got the number one, man, because they wasn't supposed to be here, ladies and gentlemen. They are NXT, bro. Like, we know Adam Cole is one of the greatest Ring of Honor champions of all time before he even got to NXT. We knew who Adam Cole was before he got to NXT, to the point when he debuted on NXT, the pop and everything was crazy. That he was already in main event, in the main event picture. Same thing with Finn Balor. That's what really catapulted NXT to begin with. And as much as I honestly want to even throw Finn Balor on that, probably number one because of that, you know what I'm saying? Or Undisputed Era number one because of what they've done. I just think of DIY as these are the two guys who've been constant. They've been there the longest. They've been there faithfully the longest. All the match of the years Johnny Gargano's been involved in, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you've seen Tommaso Ciampa, like that's why I couldn't like even leave him out. One of the things that I did see, kind of like with Roman Reigns with the Shield, how it was like kind of seeing like that was like the person that was trying to push. Like initially with DIY, like watching initially, at least my interpretation or my impression was like, man, they kind of feel like they're kind of trying to like push Johnny Gargano like more so than Ciampa, and kind of like when they break apart, he was going to be like the one that they're trying to like give the more so the push to, for Ciampa to hold his own and stay right there. And then, you know what I'm saying, from the surgery to come back, the heel work, the betrayal, the Goldie, everything that he's done, the Aleister Black matches, the Adam Cole matches, the Gargano matches, and his stuff. I put him and Gargano's three matches right up there with Okada and Kenny Omega's. I honestly like their trilogy, their three matches better than I like Omega and Okada's, because there's a way longer story to it, and it's way more direct and personal. You know what I'm saying? Um, but with that said, just because of the hardcore, from a pure aspect, you can debate Okada and Omega. You know what I'm saying? But for the story wise and a lot of wise, from a lot of ways, I don't know, man. It's really right there. It really is. Like you can really argue it. In my opinion, I feel like Dave Meltzer just slightly overguessed the Omega Okada matches. They were great, especially in my opinion. I think the first one was the best one at Wrestle Kingdom. It was the most definitive. It was during the time where Okada was at his very peak, and Omega was on his highest run at his very peak, at the biggest stage that they had out of all of their encounters, with the most definitive finish. You know what I'm saying? Um, but with that said, yeah. So that's how I got DIY. You know what I'm saying? One guy uh, really wasn't supposed to be there in Tommaso Ciampa. You know what I'm saying? That people call him daddy and shit for NXT. Like, yo, this is the guy they consider the daddy of NXT and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, the fans. You know what I'm saying? Just because of his story and his trials and tribulations, you know, to Johnny Wrestling, and now you're seeing Johnny Wrestling go from, like, you know what I'm saying, the face and the guy after Sami Zayn, you know what I'm saying, to be like the heart of NXT, even though he ain't the champ, like the underdog, the constant underdog you want to root for, to the bad guy, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing a good job as a bad guy. And you know what I'm saying? He's very unselfish and he's constantly always putting other people over, to having, you know, the match with Almeida, which was a match of the year, in my opinion, if not the match of the year. I'm pretty sure it was, probably, now that I think about it, to the matches with Ciampa, to the matches with Adam Cole, you know what I'm saying? Seriously, Adam Cole, you know what I'm saying? To work with Keith Lee, work with Finn Balor, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys, all they do is put on nonstop good matches. These guys are the fucking blood of NXT, along with everybody else on here. But like, those two guys, like, these guys from the bottom, they started at the bottom of the card, worked their way up to the top of the card. Now they sit up there at the top with the OGs, with the Finn Balor's in them. But the thing is, they were made through NXT, and that's why I put them number one when it comes to current NXT stars. Now, while I sit up, this ain't gonna make no sense, but I'm gonna go into top 10 of all time, man. This is my final list. Good, because, man, I'm ready to take a little break, you know what I mean? Little 420 break, you know, watch some TV, play some League of Legends and whatnot. But, man, we'll start off number 10. It is a four-way tie between Keith Lee, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, damn, 4 people tied for number 10. It's just because I didn't want to leave nobody out, man. I want to make sure everybody get the honorable mention, because all 4 of them have did something substantial in NXT. From Keith Lee, 2-time, that's right, man. Fucking spoiler warning, Keith Lee is going to beat Adam Cole. You guys already know what's going to happen, man. Keith Lee, dual champion, first ever NXT and North American champion at the same time. Salute to him for that. Only thing is, it hasn't even happened technically on television yet, so he hasn't done nothing up past that. So you just get in that, I threw you on the list. And it's just because of that I just now put him on the list right before I went live, because at first he wasn't on the all-time list. But I think that's enough to etch him in the conversation. At number 10 as well, I got Samoa Joe. Obvious reasons. Samoa Joe, first person to become a 2-time NXT champion. First person to beat Finn Balor the Demon as well, man. And only person to beat Finn Balor the Demon. Other than him, everybody else loses to the Demon form. So salute to Samoa Joe for that. Kevin Owens, man, fastest person to win an NXT championship. First person to go on WWE as an NXT champion. And he made the most of it, beating John Cena, who was a WWE champion at that time, man, making NXT look like, yo, we are not like the little brand, man. Like, we are equal, man. I'm up over here beating y'all top dog. You know what I'm saying? Let me fix my lights real quick. How my lights is looking up in here, man. I don't like how my lights looking, man. Yeah, so Kevin Owens, yeah, for quickest still won the title and everything. Shinsuke Nakamura, another person who was a dual champion, a 2-time champion. And honestly, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, signing that they had, especially when he came over. During the time he came over, had one of the greatest matches with Sami Zayn. It was just incredible. One of the, if not, it's probably the best debut in NXT history. Shinsuke Nakamura's debut against Sami Zayn. That shit was magical, bruh. Like, that's what I'm going to have to do next time. A top 10 takeover matches list. That's what I'm going to do on my next episode, man. But anyway, at number 9, I got Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was the heart and soul of NXT, man. Damn, it's a shame what they did with Sami Zayn on the main roster. It took him forever to get a title, and then they strip him from the title because he ain't trying to catch COVID. Ain't that a bitch, man? Ain't that some shit, man? Like I said, get sick or lose your title, bro. So, WWE is petty as fuck for that one, man. But yeah, man, Sami Zayn, when he won the title, and it was so short-lived, putting over his boy, giving his boy that look, which would go on and damn, benefit his boy so much more than him. But yeah, he really took one for his boy. But in NXT, I definitely put his contributions and his significance and worth higher than Kevin Owens or Nakamura or Keith Lee at this point. But Keith Lee still got some time to go, man. At number 8, it's the all-time list. I got my boy Tyler Bate, first ever UK champion. You know what I'm saying? That in itself, man. And then also, like, doing it at the age he did, I think it was like 21 at the time he did it. Just insane, incredible feat. Him and Walter's match, the promo that they had is my favorite promo in the past 10 years at least. That build up, that match is one of my favorite matches. And that's another one of those matches I'm like, dude, man, like, that's why I don't be like, Dave Meltzer be pissing me off sometimes, man, because it's just like, man, you guys be gassing up Okada and Omega match and shit like that. And you know what I'm saying? The Michaels and Undertaker match. And I'd be like, bro, like, there's matches I see that are just as good, if not better than them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the Triple H Taker match just as much as I like the Shawn Michaels matches. You know what I'm saying? And I like the Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano trilogy and the Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa trilogy matches just as much as I like the Okada matches. I like the Sasha Banks versus Bayley match damn near on the same level. I like any of those Okada Omega matches or a lot of these other matches that people be calling like the greatest match of all time. You know what I'm saying? So people are just subjective or biased, bro. Like, because they're biased towards their favorite wrestler. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I stand to not ever do. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm like a fan, no matter what I'm a fan of, whether it's my anime, comic books, pro wrestling, or whatever it is that I'm covering, is to stay objective. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't do that. The feelings get in the way and shit like that. So number 7, Pete Dunne. I personally like Tyler Bate more, but Pete Dunne's definitely did more, man. His title run definitely got more. He gets more opportunities. He's on air more. He does more NXT stuff. Tyler Bate from time to time comes through too, but he's not getting the looks that Pete Dunne is doing. He got the look initially, but after that, it kind of like fell off. You know what I'm saying? At number 6, I got Asuka and Charlotte Flair for different reasons. You know, obviously Asuka had undefeated Goldberg streak in NXT and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying? Charlotte Flair, her story, her rise from NXT through to WWE, it's like, it's one and the same. You know what I'm saying? They both got to where they got to. Yeah, but honestly, I put them in the same bracket, even though Asuka obviously got the better win-loss record. I feel like they got like around the same amount of major moments or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, or impact as far as NXT goes, at least. At number 5, I got Bayley. I put Bayley above Asuka and Charlotte, even though both were more successful as far as wins and titles and whatnot. Bayley captured the fans more than any other woman in NXT, as far as like the heart of NXT, the original baby face of NXT. If you put it like as far as like babyface, like you know what I'm saying, like little kids and all that shit. I remember the little annoying ass Bailey fan and everything back in the day, like, and her work with Sasha and everything, you know, with the takeover and everything was just insane. They definitely broke some grounds and everything with their matches. The following match, you know, first ever women's main event, and I don't know how long, and not ever, you know, it was a long time since there's been a woman main event that was a wrestling match. You know what I'm saying? And they stole the show from Balor and KO at the first ever takeover and everything too, man. And that moment was just monumental, man. So I definitely put Bailey top 5, dead or alive, when it comes to the NXT all-time list, man. At number 4, Sasha Banks. Now, yo, some people might be thinking, how do I got Sasha Banks? I see so much hate and shade for Sasha Banks, and that's just funny to me. It just lets me know, all right, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you're watching. Like you're like an emotional person who's basing things off of how you feel instead of like logic, because and facts. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm a affectionated person, and with Sasha Banks, like she's the common denominator in the women's revolution when it comes to who everybody was having their best performances with, and who was in all the best women matches during the women revolution. It was Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch's best matches, and spoiler alert, Becky Lynch did not make my NXT top 10 greatest of all time list. She was not cracking in NXT. She was definitely the weak link in NXT with the Four Horsewomen. With Sasha Banks is the person who really was the one who showed, like, yo, Becky could go. She's the one who, like, really put the spotlight on Becky. She's the one who was always having those great matches with Charlotte Flair to build her up. And people, they established something like, yo, when Charlotte was first starting out, I think Sasha was the one who was helping her out and training her and shit. So just like, yo, man, you got to give her some of Charlotte's success if that's the case. And then she's the one having the great matches with with Bailey as well. So it's like she's the common denominator in all of their shit. And then she's the one who, aside from her heel persona being on point, her charisma, her look, and everything else, damn, she's a great heel. I remember when she snatched that fans sign and ripped it up in front of them and all that shit. Like she always do some real heelish and shit, that extra shit that you need. You know what I'm saying? Those little grannies and crooks. You know what I'm saying? Or however that saying goes or whatever. But she really is one. She definitely gets downplayed and not appreciated as much for what she's really done for the women's revolution. I think she, more than anybody, is responsible for the women's revolution and doesn't get her just due. But I see you, Sasha. You're the number one woman in my opinion, when it came to that. You know what I'm saying? Not recently, because obviously, again, you're not getting the looks everybody else getting. They finally starting to put you in that light, but it's been a minute, you know. But when it comes to NXT, yeah, and I think that's a good thing too. They did have like a thing before, and she was the number one ranked out of the women's stuff, I think, if not her or Asuka. But like they do know, out of the Four Horsewomen in NXT, Sasha Banks was the most vital. Number 3, Undisputed Era, man. Undisputed Era, they held it down for the past a year or two, maybe even 3. They've been putting it down for a minute now, man. Always good matches, always show out. And really, like, you could always make the argument. I'm sure a lot of people probably going to have Undisputed Era as their number 1. For me, I put Undisputed Era 3. Kind of just like how I said earlier, and I'll just show you number 2 real quick. Kind of like how I said earlier with DIY, you know. So 3, Undisputed Era, 2, DIY. With Undisputed Era, like, and DIY, they both do the same thing. They're both consistent. They always put on, you know, they're going to potentially steal the show. They're always going to put on a good match, even if they don't steal the show. Difference is DIY, built from the ground up in NXT. Or Undisputed Era, we already knew them kind of coming in. More established, more popular coming in. but around the same work rate. With DIY, I've been there way longer though, so I put DIY above them. When it comes to greatest of all time for NXT, for me personally, so it wasn't gonna make sense because during the men roster, I had them ranked under DIY and Undisputed. But number one for me, it's important we pay attention to the number one, because that's a whole collective Undisputed Era fire. Even when we break them down individually, yeah, they did their shit. But if you don't break them down individually, you can make some arguments for placements, some of them not even placing, you know what I'm saying? But if you put them all together, they're undisputedly top 3 on anybody's list. With DIY, it's like, damn, you could really argue. You could split this up and then put these guys 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 type or whatnot. And a lot of their success plays off each other, same with Undisputed Era. But for number one, I put one by itself. I put the Prince, Finn Balor, man. Finn Balor, he stayed in WWE. When everybody was getting called up to WWE, he stayed in NXT. He's the person who brought that attention to NXT initially. He's the one who brought that word of mouth, like on the streets, like on the low, like, yo, man, you gotta check out NXT and everything like that. He was the one who was like had the internet and everybody from his buzz with Bullet Club. He's really the one who set shit in motion with a lot of things. Without him and how things played out, man, there could arguably be a lot of people wouldn't be in the position that they in now, from the Bullet Club people, from the AEW, like from Becky Lynch, from Jordan Devlin. Like, this guy really just he made a crazy impact, dude. He made a crazy splash, man. He really sacrificed for the squad and whatnot, man. This guy is a super. When I think of NXT, I think Finn Balor, man. You know what I'm saying? He got that presence. He got that, like, you know what I'm saying, like the King's Home type shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything's on point. Matches is solid. You know what I'm saying? You don't do too much, but you do just enough. I thoroughly enjoy his matches. I feel like I add a little bit more to it on some of them. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that dance partner though. You know what I'm saying? That like a Tommaso and Gargano. You know what I'm saying? He's not getting that. You know, where people be clicking like, yo, we're gonna put on a bomb ass match with each other. But when we wrestle these other people, we're not gonna give them our all, because most of the time they losing to them or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't trying to do all that. You know, they want a spot, so they're like, yo, we're gonna give you some mediocre matches unless we winning type shit. You know, but it is what it is, man. Finn Balor, yeah, his appeal, his crossover. Just even, for example, a week ago, before NXT just barely won the ratings last week, Sasha and Io was the main event versus the tag team match. I mean, honestly, I was switching back and forth between both of them. But the week before, when it was the triple threat, I was just watching the triple threat. And that's when the ratings were way higher for NXT than they were for AEW. That's because Finn Balor was involved in that thing, man. And the reason for it is because so many people were just waiting for Finn Balor to just get 100% on his Bullet Club shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's slowly getting back to it with the Prince and, you know what I'm saying, and the heel and the way he's talking spicy again. And, you know what I'm saying, he having good matches and all that stuff. But now we just need the whole thing, man. And I know it's for him, it's just like, yo, like you already proved you can do it on your own, man. But we just want that heel Finn Balor with the whole group, man. Like, I need the Finn wrecking shop with the gang, man. I need gang Finn. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, man. I want some gang shit, bro. But that's my top 10 for the all-time list, man. Prince Finn Balor at number one, man. My light's getting terrible up in here, man. It's getting dark though, so that's probably what the reason is. But I'm gonna pop here, man. Salute to everybody for watching it, man. Y'all have a good time, man. Next time I will be going over top 10 matches. Probably start doing more reviews. Great American Bash, Fight for the Fallen, and all that other stuff, man.